Okay, what's up, guys? So, team report did pretty bad. Um, after 6 rounds of playing, I was 3-3 and decided it was getting late. I didn't want to play the last one because I was just kind of fed up. Um, with losing. I'll be honest. But what did this team do well and what did it do poorly? Well, against every meta team, I crushed them. And I mean I crushed them, which is great. Against everything I didn't see coming, I lost. And I figured that might happen, but yeah. Let's see. First game, the person didn't know what they were doing. They don't count. Second game was a loss because I didn't realize Mimikyu gets beat up. And I lost because of it. Because beat up justified strat, and yeah, I didn't know Mimikyu got beat up. So I got screwed, and I just essentially lost the first round as a result of it, and then lost the first game as a result of it, and then the second game, it was they set up a trick room, which my team doesn't exactly do well in, but can handle it more or less, um, depending upon what the trick room, depending upon just the enemy team comp in general. Um, but what happened was Snorlax they had a Snorlax which got a body slam off. Um like, and I was outplaying this guy too. Like, I one shot his Arcanine with Dragapult's Max Geyser, which he wasn't expecting. And then I was able to knock his Snorlax out of its belly drum range. Out like I knocked it down to like almost no HP, so it wasn't able to use its belly drum, and he wasn't expecting that. Um, and then I lost because my Sylveon got hit with a body slam, which paralyzed it, and then it got paralyzed. Um, so yeah, that was pretty unfortunate. Um, the third game, I went up against. Can't read my own writing. Oh right, a pretty Gothitelle, Ludicolo, Pelipper, Snorlax, Dragapult, Togekiss. They didn't bring Ludicolo, Pelipper until the very last game. This went to 3 games. Um, the first game I lost because I didn't exactly know what was happening, and I messed up a turn because I forgot that Togekiss was on the field and could follow me and direct my Dragon attack. Um, but yeah, I outplayed him pretty well once I figured out what he was gonna do. So I did good on that. The fourth game, Dragapult, Sylveon, Whimsicott, T-Tar, Excadrill, Rotom, Wash, which is a very, very, very meta comp. Just meta Pokemon in general. Um, and I very quickly got a read on how I was supposed to beat this guy and just demolished him. Um, yeah, so that was really good. Um, and I know this guy because this guy was streaming his game, so I was able to go back and watch it. He actually like called my lead at one point for like the very first game, and then I still crushed him because he just didn't like he had no idea what Rillaboom did. Like, that was literally what he said. Like, he saw the team preview and he's like, "Oh, Rillaboom's a little weird," and then I led Rillaboom, and he's like, "I have no idea what Rillaboom does." Um, so that worked well, and then we start getting into some weird Corviknight, Arcanine, Gastrodon, Sylveon, Rotom, Mo, T-Tar. Not exactly weird, but it was more like I think I played really poorly, and I didn't bring. Uh, I need to bring Rotom more often, I think, and I think I need to set up this Rotom Heat differently. If I want to use it again, but I'm not too sure. It just didn't really do anything, and I kind of knew it wasn't going to do anything coming into this. So yeah, I think had I had a different Rotom Heat setup, I would have won. But I'm not sure. And then my sixth match, I was up against a Trick Room team, which wouldn't Trick Room is not necessarily a problem because I can fake out whoever's trying to set up the Trick Room, or I can one shot them, or I could do both if I think they've got Focus Sash. Problem comes into play when it's Indeedee with Trick Room, as Indeedee makes it so that I just can't target the Trick Room user, and it's not a very common composition that you see often. Indeedee is kind of common, but not really, and I have ways around it, like just one-shotting it, um, which normally if they have an Indeedee that has the Focus Sash and whatnot, but it's just I couldn't deal with Trick Room set at all, and I think I could have won. Like there was that game I was really tired, and the terrain kept changing constantly. Like, oh, he sends out Indeedee, that's Psychic Surge, that's Psychic Terrain. So now my fake outs don't work, which is a big deal, because that's my way of that's also my way of dealing with follow me people is fake out, which means that I pretty much just lose against any Indeedee team, and then I lose against a Trick Room team that has Indeedee, like Trick Room and Indeedee together, which just like is a double win because I can't stop him. I can't stop everything. And like I was just like there's just like so many things back to back that I was so frustrated after that because it's like I forgot that like it's like okay, I can't deal with the Psychic Terrain, and then Misty Terrain happened due to Max Fairy, and then I tried to put a burn on one of their Pokemon, not realizing that hey, Misty Terrain stops burns, and I was like, oh right, that's a thing. This and then it's like I tried, like I literally sent out my Hitmontop. Their Pokemon had Inner Focus, and I was like, okay, so the Intimidate didn't work. Okay, whatever. And then I tried to flinch it, not realizing, hey, it has Inner Focus. So, a lot of misplays on my part for the very last game, but it was also it wasn't a very common team that you see. So overall, what do I think about this team? I think it does really, really, really well against meta comp. Hitmontop counters T-Tar Exegil very well. Corviknight is really good against other Tailwind Pokemon, especially its typing is just really nice. It helps round out the team very well. Expert on Dragapult was a very, very nice choice. I still don't know if U-Turn was useful. I think Acrobatics might have. I think having or Sucker Punch would have been good too. Sucker Punch actually would have been really good. I think having another move to catch people off guard with would have been really. Dragon Darts, I guess, could also be good. I guess it kind of just depends on what I want. Steel Wing maybe would have been good, but it just anytime this had to go up against something that wasn't a meta composition, this team just struggled. Sylveon, I wasn't exactly too happy with Sylveon. Didn't really do much. Rillaboom was amazing. Rillaboom did just as well as I thought it was going, which is really, really great. For any time I had Rillaboom, my opponent just had to immediately they couldn't send in Rotom Wash, or they just had to immediately swap it out, which is really, really good. Just yeah, anytime this ran into mostly like Trick Room, I wasn't able to like stall out the Trick Room. It was just, I guess, also Mimikyu Trick Room is very difficult for this team to deal with as well. If I had like some way of having a Scrappy Intimidate Mon, or a Scrappy Fake Out user, then it would be a little bit easier. Or if I had something else. So yeah, I think something I want to try experimenting with the next time I make a team, which won't be for a while. I'm going to taking a break for a while from trying to just edit this stuff, mostly because League is having Clash come up in the next 2 weeks, next 2 weekends. This kind of overlaps times. The very end of my tournament is at the very start of Clash. If I had to drop out of the tournament, and if I was doing really good, then and also there's stuff that I want to do during the middle of the day on Saturdays that I haven't been able to do because this tournament starts at 1 o'clock. I have to make sure I'm home for it. But overall, this team did what I created it to, but it had very little ways of dealing with certain other certain Pokemon, certain styles of play. Um, so yeah. But the next time I try to make a team, I want to try to mess around with Duraludon because Duraludon gets access to Duraludon has the ability Stalwart, which prevents its moves from being redirected. So it's I don't have to worry about Follow Me when I use it. I think I want to try Stalwart with Grimmsnarl. That or Grimmsnarl. Like Grimmsnarl can do a lot of things. I wanna mess around with Grimmsnarl on the team. I wanna mess around with Duraludon on the team. I think I wanna try to get away from using Sylveon because Sylveon's really nice. Which by the way, actually, now that I'm thinking about Sylveon, this Wide Guard came in so many times. And Helping Hand came in clutch so many times as well. But Sylveon is very, very obvious what Sylveon does. Granted, I love this Sylveon. This Sylveon did really, really well because the stat spread on it did exactly what I wanted. But Sylveon is very obvious at what it does. So I don't really know how much I want to, because it's very predictable, and predictability is fine. As you can see, like like this Rotom Heat's not exactly most standard set. It kind of is, but same thing with Hitmontop. It's not the most standard set. The spread is also not the most standard spread either. Dragon Pulse definitely not standard. Like Dragon Claw, Phantom Force, that's standard, but the rest of this, like U-Turn, you can kind of guess that might be on there depending upon what set it is. Dive is not standard. Expert Belt is not standard. Corviknight, the moves and stuff are standard, but the setup is very different. There was a lot of times where it did exactly what it needed to, where the stat spread was set up so that it would take a hit from a Rotom. It would take like a Volt Switch or T-Ball or something from a Rotom, and it would go right between 50 and 60. It would take 50 to 60% damage, and that meant that it would get the berry at just the perfect amount. Rillaboom was just god tier. But yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna take a break from doing competitive for a couple weeks, and then after that after that either, because after that is Mega Vacation. So yeah, I'll catch you guys for Pokemon stuff in a month, I guess. For tournament stuff, I still might be posting teams, but I'm not gonna worry about doing any like tournaments or anything.